Welcome back to another news video. We have officially started summer. The Steam summer sale is currently live. So if you don't want to go outside and enjoy this lovely weather this time of the year, throw your wallets over to Steam and pick up some heavily discounted games. Anyhow, this week we're talking about Xbox again, working on making everything in Xbox, all while another round of potential layoffs haunt their workforce. Chrono Odyssey had their closed beta test last weekend, which has players feeling mixed. And Death Stranding 2 is officially out with glowing reviews. Plus, stick around to the end because we'll have a bonus round covering Final Fantasy XIV's declining player base, Splitgate 2's troubled launch, as well as a couple of games with really juicy trailers that were recently teased. All news article source for this video will be linked down in the description below. Like, sub, do all the YouTube stuff. Let's get into it. Xbox, with all of their wins as of late, are about to experience a big L with some rumored layoffs that are planned to start next week. Let's start with a couple of their wins first. Microsoft has revealed an aggregated gaming library coming to PCs and PC handhelds this week for those that are enrolled in the Xbox Insider Program's PC Gaming Preview. This new feature will include all of your installed games from other PC storefronts in one place, next to all of your Xbox games as well as your Game Pass library. While it wasn't specifically mentioned in their reveal of this feature, The Verge is reporting that Steam games will definitely be available through the Xbox app. I'm willing to believe that for now, but it's probably best to wait for an official statement from Xbox. Another recent announcement was a partnership between Meta and Xbox. You can now purchase the Meta Quest 3S Xbox Edition. Available at either Best Buy or the Meta Store, you can buy one for $399.99. This bundle comes with an Xbox-themed headset with matching Touch Plus controllers and a limited edition Xbox wireless controller. You'll also get an Elite strap, 3 months of Meta Horizon Plus, as well as 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. This one's a little odd because Xbox didn't really have an interest in entering the VR space in the past. While they don't really have any VR titles under their Xbox brand, you can at least play all of your Xbox games and Game Pass titles on a virtual screen within virtual reality. This is an Xbox. This perfectly aligns with their strategy that they've been working on for the last couple years. Essentially, putting the Xbox brand, the platform, on all hardware, wherever they can put it, not just limited to the consoles that they make. And now for the bad news. Unfortunately, there's a rumor that's making the rounds, but the report comes from a credible source over at Bloomberg, stating that as many as 2,000 employees are going to be laid off next week under the Xbox division at Microsoft. They're saying that roughly 10% of the workforce across all Xbox studios, Activision and Bethesda, are most likely to be affected, as they were in the prior round of layoffs. What's more worrying is the potential studio closures that could happen as well, which we saw them do in the past with Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks back in May of 2024. Microsoft's financial quarter is set to end June 30th. Looks like they're still trying to trim the excess fat that kind of built up over the last few years due to COVID overhiring and also all of the acquisitions that they've made in the last several years. Gotta make those numbers go up, right? I can't imagine how everyone under the Xbox division is feeling right now. My heart goes out to them. If whoever gets affected by the layoffs, hopefully they get back on their feet as soon as possible. This last weekend, Chrono Odyssey held a closed beta on Steam. Anyone was able to sign up. All you had to do was apply for access via the Steam client. This is coming from massively overpowered. The beta hit just over 65,000 concurrent players at its highest peak this past Saturday. Many players over at the game subreddit have shared a mixed amount of feedback. Some made comparisons to another MMO called New World, in particular to its combat and its gathering. Depending how you feel about New World, that could be a good or bad thing. I personally enjoyed New World, so to me, I thought it was nice. Though the biggest takeaway from this closed beta was that the game is in a rough state. There's plenty of visual bugs and performance issues, low frame rate animations on all the mobs in the open world, which makes timing your attacks difficult. Even the responsiveness of combat felt a little sluggish. I did have a chance to hop in over the weekend. I was really busy with real life stuff, so I only got a couple hours into it, but I did notice the issues that were mentioned by the community. I will say that with my background in game development, I feel pretty confident that the team can address all of these issues, especially before their planned release date, which is currently sitting in Q4 of 2025. But wait, there is more. A message from Chrono Odyssey CEO posted on Twitter stating that the beta was the version from the end of last year. This really lit up the community. A lot of testers felt like this was a waste of time, especially if, the current in development build is in a better place than, this 6-month-old build that we tested over the weekend. What's the point of testing an old build when many of these issues are potentially already addressed? Well, let me share some insights as a 12-year game dev veteran. To me, this was primarily a server stress test. Sure, maybe some bugs were reported that they probably didn't find with their internal testers. Things are bound to show up when you've got 65,000 players all play testing your game at one time. And the CEO even followed up with his message stating that the current development build isn't stable enough to release to such a big playtest environment. This is a real thing in game development. It can be months until a stable enough build is reached to release confidently to a large group of playtesters. Anyways, this is the current state of Chrono Odyssey. This is a highly anticipated MMO. The MMO genre has been sort of in a drought. Everyone's really just been playing World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV mostly. So yeah, I think all us MMO players are super hungry for something new, something different. I'm looking forward to the next playtest. Are you? Sound off in the comments, let me know. Kojima Productions seems to have hit another home run with Death Stranding 2, based on the early reviews that have been coming out. It officially released yesterday, June 26th. Coming from IGN, they're giving it a 9 out of 10, saying it's a triumphant sequel that greatly improves upon its predecessor. They call it an amazing, incredibly exciting, and original journey. The stealth action has been improved, as well as gameplay across the board that streamlines the original systems. That was actually a big critique I've heard from my circle of friends who have played the original Death Stranding, so that's great to hear. There's also new tools that add some flexibility to the combat. Additionally, the story is much more focused, and it's set 11 months after the first game, so that's pretty cool to hear. It builds out the post-apocalyptic stories with unpredictable reveals. Ooh. And in Kojima fashion, it dives into complex themes like technology's impact on human connection, AI and art, as well as gun culture. We are also introduced to a new continent with greater environmental variety, including sandstorms, quakes, and rising rivers, which adds a challenge to traversing the open world. That's really going to spice up the FedEx delivery quests. And of course, the game has stunning visuals, providing a smooth experience on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro, powered by the Decima engine. Cinematics are seamlessly integrated into gameplay, and that is something I love when everything happens within the game engine. Additionally, the mocap acting is top-notch as well. The game does have some criticisms. Enemy AI is not the smartest, which makes challenge seem trivial early on. Cargo management seems to still be a pain. And then there's some criticism to the main character, Sam Porter Bridges. Not necessarily the acting, but the character seems to be written as being emotionally impenetrable. That last one is a bit shocking to me. I feel like Norman Reedus is a pretty good actor and he's capable of portraying emotions. It might just be the writing done for his character. Like I said, Death Stranding was released as of June 26, 2025, currently exclusive on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. I still need to play the first one, something I should probably take care of soon. All right, that wraps up our main stories for the week, but don't go anywhere because we've got some quickfire news in the bonus round coming up. Also, if you're enjoying this video, consider supporting the channel by subscribing, and while you're down there, why not hit that like button? It really helps out and I greatly appreciate it, so thank you. This one comes from PC Gamer. Final Fantasy XIV director and producer Yoshi P has admitted that the game's quality of service has declined recently. Yoshi P stated that the team got used to things a bit too much and got comfortable, resulting in an increase of bugs requiring emergency maintenance or even hotfixes. This decline follows the peak of the Endwalker expansion and the player surge as a result of the World of Warcraft exodus, with players expressing frustration over the new story introduction, as well as the patch cadence post-Endwalker expansion. Final Fantasy XIV, in my opinion, is one of the best MMOs out there, especially if you like to play solo. There's this amazing story within the main quest line with this enormous world to experience. And like I said, most of the content is achievable solo with dungeons and raids that groups you up with other players using a party finder, and it does this really smoothly. It's a good game. Let's hope Yoshi P and the team are able to shake things up in the coming future. This next one comes from IGN. 1047 Games, the studio behind Splitgate 2, has started layoffs affecting a small group of its staff. The layoffs followed a challenging launch for Splitgate 2, which experienced lower peak concurrent players on Steam than its predecessor and received mixed user reviews. The game's launch was also affected by some negative publicity from the co-founder Ian Prolix and criticism over a $145 microtransaction bundle. This is something I reported on during the Summer Games event. In response to these issues and to reallocate resources, the co-founders Ian Prolix and Nicholas Bagamian have decided not to take salaries. You know what? That's pretty admirable. Not something you see happen often in the games industry. The studio states it's committed to perfecting the Splitgate 2 gameplay experience based on community feedback and to delivering the next phase of the project. Sounds a bit dire. Let's move on to some positive stories. NetEase has officially announced Blood Message, a new AAA single-player game developed by 24 Entertainment. That's the studio behind Naraka Blade Point, which was a online battle royale melee combat game. It was a lot of fun, actually. The game is a story-driven adventure set during the tumultuous final years of China's Tang Dynasty. Players will follow a nameless messenger and his young son on a dangerous 1,000-mile journey to Chang'an, the Tang Empire's capital, navigating difficult terrain and brutal sieges. Key features include cinematic storytelling and realistic combat that blends stealth and survival mechanics. The game promises expansive landscapes inspired by East and Central Asia. The core theme explores how ordinary people become unsung heroes, focusing on the father and son's struggle between duty and family in a collapsing world. NetEase executive VP Ji Peng-hu stated the game aims to deliver an epic and cinematic experience. And wow, that trailer did look epic and cinematic. Some parts of it even looked like actual gameplay with UI elements sort of removed. It looks great to me. Blood Message is confirmed for PC and consoles, though no release date has been announced. We've seen a growing trend of games inspired by Chinese history and folklore as of late. I'm down for that, so let's keep them coming. This next game is called Spine. It's a gun fu action game from developer Neki. aiming to make players feel as overpowered as characters like John Wick. The game is a third-person shooter heavily inspired by gun fu movies such as John Wick, John Woo films, The Raid, Equilibrium, and Bullet Train. Players control protagonist Redline, combining hand-to-hand combat with firearms. The gameplay emphasizes a fast-paced flow state that allows for acrobatic maneuvers, takedowns, and shooting to clear rooms of enemies. While a pistol is the primary weapon, picking up other guns like shotguns dramatically alters available combat moves. The game aims to recreate the constant tactical awareness of action movie protagonists. Spine features diverse environments, including bar brawls, and sections with altered camera perspectives, such as a top-down homage to John Wick, Chapter 4. The game is currently aiming for an undetermined release date in 2026. I can't wait. And that's a wrap for this week's news video. You got any thoughts on any of these stories you'd like to share? Leave a comment down below. Can't wait to read what you got to say. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more great gaming content. And if you're looking for more, check out this recommended video right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.